Have you ever wondered if there might be someone out there who looks just like you? Today we delve into the mysterious concept of doppelgangers. The term doppelganger is a German word that literally translates to double walker. It was first popularized in the realm of German Romantic literature, where it came to be associated with a supernatural duplicate of a living person. According to the folklore, a doppelganger isn't just an identical twin separated at birth or a look-alike found across the globe. Instead, it's an eerie, spectral double of oneself, often seen as a harbinger of bad luck or even death. The doppelganger is perceived as a tangible, physical entity that exists in our world, yet it embodies an uncanny, otherworldly presence. This doppelganger is not just a replica, but a mirror of oneself, reflecting our actions, our thoughts, and even our darkest fears. This fascinating concept has its roots steeped in mythology and superstition. Many cultures around the world have their own variations of the doppelganger myth, each with unique interpretations and implications. In some traditions, seeing one's doppelganger is a bad omen or a sign of impending doom. In others, the doppelganger is seen as an evil twin, set on causing mischief or harm. Over time, the definition of a doppelganger has evolved. In contemporary parlance, a doppelganger is generally referred to as someone who physically resembles another person, without the spooky, supernatural connotations. However, the sense of eerie fascination and intrigue associated with the idea of having a double continues to captivate our collective imagination. From folklore to popular culture, the concept of the doppelganger has continued to intrigue and confound us. It raises profound questions about identity, individuality, and the very nature of self. It makes us wonder about the endless possibilities, the what-ifs, and the might-have-beens. This chilling concept, originating from the heart of European literature, has since evolved, taking on new forms and meanings throughout history. So the next time you look in the mirror, ask yourself, could there be another me out there? Historically, encounters with one's doppelganger often spelled doom. These spectral doubles, rooted in German Romantic literature, were seen as harbingers of misfortune, often predicting one's death. Take, for instance, the chilling tale of Catherine the Great. The Russian empress allegedly met her doppelganger one night seated on her throne. Rather than cower in fear, the audacious Catherine ordered her guards to shoot the imposter. However, the ethereal figure vanished, leaving no trace. Not long after this uncanny encounter, Catherine the Great died of a stroke. Was it a mere coincidence or a premonition of her impending doom? Then there's the case of Guy de Maupassant, a renowned French author. He was said to have been haunted by his doppelganger, who would often visit him while he was writing. The spectral figure would sit across from Maupassant, silently copying his every move. This eerie occurrence drove the author to the brink of insanity. He attempted suicide and was later institutionalized. Sadly, Maupassant's life ended in tragedy, much like the somber endings of his stories. Such tales are rife throughout history, with doppelgangers often symbolizing one's darker self or impending doom. They were feared and avoided, seen as omens of death and misfortune. However, it's essential to remember that these stories emerged from a time of superstition and mysticism. They were born out of a fear of the unknown, a fear of coming face to face with oneself. While these tales may send a chill down your spine, the modern understanding of doppelgangers has taken a decidedly less ominous turn. Today, finding a doppelganger is seen as a fun and exciting endeavor, a quest to find your twin stranger. But that's a story for another day. Today, the term doppelganger refers to someone who simply looks strikingly similar to another person. In our modern world, the concept of doppelgangers has evolved. It's no longer about bumping into your spectral double in a dimly lit castle corridor. Instead, it's about finding someone on the other side of the globe who could pass for your twin at first glance. The advent of the internet has made this search not just possible, but also surprisingly common. Take the story of 3 Irish students, for instance. They embarked on a mission to find their twin strangers online, using social media platforms to spread the word about their quest. The results were astonishing. Each one of them managed to find their lookalikes, people who shared such striking physical similarities that they could easily be mistaken for them. The first student found his doppelganger living just a town over. They shared the same hair color, eye color, and even similar facial structure. The second student found her match halfway across the world, in Italy. Despite being from different backgrounds and cultures, their faces were nearly identical. The third student's doppelganger hunt led him to Sweden, where he found a stranger who mirrored his own features so closely, it was uncanny. These stories highlight the power of the internet in our quest for similarity. It has transformed the hunt for our doubles from a supernatural phenomenon into a global game of Find Your Twin. Now, with just a few clicks, you can connect with people who share your face, regardless of where they are in the world. This modern approach to finding doppelgangers has shifted the narrative as well. It's no longer seen as an omen of bad luck or a sign of impending doom. Instead, it has become a source of fascination, a fun endeavor that can lead to interesting connections and stories. With this modern twist, finding your doppelganger can turn out to be a fascinating rather than frightening experience. But what makes us see similarities in faces, and how likely is it to find an exact match? Our human brains are wired to recognize faces. It's an innate ability that helps us make sense of our social world. When we look at a face, our brain doesn't just see individual features. Instead, we process the face as a whole, focusing on the relative positions of the eyes, nose, and mouth. This is known as configural processing. Now think about what happens when you see someone who looks eerily like you. Your brain uses configural processing to pick up on the similarities in facial structure and arrangement. It's a bit like recognizing a familiar pattern. You may not be able to pinpoint exactly what makes you two look alike, but you know there's a resemblance. But here's the fascinating part. While our brains are great at picking up patterns and similarities, they're not so good at recognizing exact matches. Why? Because each face is a unique combination of countless variables, from the size and shape of your features to the spacing between them. Research underscores this point. Studies have shown that even among identical twins who share the same genetic material, there are subtle differences in their faces. These differences can be as tiny as a freckle or a slightly different curve in the eyebrow. Over time, these differences become more pronounced due to factors like aging and environmental influences. So, how likely is it to find an exact match of your face? The truth is, it's virtually zero. Even if you scour the entire world, the chances of finding someone who is exactly like you, feature for feature, freckle for freckle, are astronomically small. And yet, the concept of doppelgangers continues to captivate us. Perhaps it's the thrill of finding our look-alike, or maybe it's a deeper fascination with the idea of identity and self. So, while you may find someone who shares a striking resemblance with you, the odds of finding your exact replica are slim to none. From eerie omens to intriguing internet searches, the concept of doppelgangers has captivated us for centuries. This fascination began with the German romantic novels, where a doppelganger was seen as an eerie twin, an alternate version of oneself existing in the same world, often viewed as a supernatural phenomenon. This concept, steeped in fear and mysticism, was prevalent in stories of old where encounters with one's doppelganger often led to catastrophic events. Think of Catherine the Great, the Russian empress whose encounter with her spectral double supposedly led to her untimely demise. Then we have the chilling tale of French writer Maupassant, whose frequent interactions with his doppelganger played a role in his descent into madness, culminating in an unsuccessful suicide attempt and subsequent confinement to a mental institution. These stories, while dark and menacing, reveal our long-standing fascination with the idea of having a duplicate self. This fascination has evolved in the contemporary world. Today, a doppelganger is more commonly understood as a person who looks strikingly similar to another, existing in the same time and space. The advent of the internet has paved the way for individuals to embark on exciting quests to find their twin strangers. Remember the 3 Irish students who successfully found their lookalikes online? Such stories, while less ominous, are equally intriguing, serving to fuel our fascination with the concept of doppelgangers. But how does this all tie in with our understanding of similar faces? Our recognition of faces primarily focuses on relative positioning of facial features. Research indicates that even with similar features, the probability of 2 faces being identical is almost 0. This scientific viewpoint adds another layer of intrigue to the doppelganger phenomenon. Whether as a supernatural phenomenon or a curious coincidence, the idea of doppelgangers continues to intrigue us, making us question our uniqueness in this vast world.